Welcome to Ancient Stoic Secrets. You know, most people have a breaking point, but there's a rare kind of man who doesn't. He's not loud. He doesn't flex his strength. He doesn't chase followers or applause. But when life falls apart, he doesn't. He stays calm, steady, grounded. You've seen him before. The guy who walks into chaos like it's just another Tuesday. And you wonder, how? How does he stay strong when everything else collapses? It's not because life spared him. It's because he built something stronger inside. Something you don't see on the surface, a kind of inner steel. That's what this video is about. How to become that man. Not the loudest, not the richest, but the one who never breaks. Let's begin. 1. Kill the king of comfort. Comfort isn't your reward, it's your enemy in disguise. Every time you scroll for hours, avoid the hard conversation, or hit snooze, you hand over a piece of your strength. And slowly you wonder why you feel hollow, anxious, tired. It's not because life is hard, it's because you made it too soft. Most men today are addicted to ease. But ease doesn't make you powerful. Discomfort does. If you want to stop breaking under pressure, start by dethroning comfort. Replace it with discipline, with structure, with discomfort that teaches you who you really are. Because the man who never breaks, he doesn't chase the easy road. He sets it on fire and walks straight into the storm. Ask yourself, have you been living or just relaxing? 2. Meet the man you've never become. There's a version of you hiding behind your comfort zone. He doesn't fold when it gets hard. He doesn't hit back when provoked. He doesn't need permission to rise. That version of you? He wakes up at 5 a.m. when no one's watching. He shows up when excuses scream the loudest. He lives in silence, in discipline, in repetition. And right now, you've barely scratched the surface of him. Most men never meet their potential because they never bleed for their values. They never suffer on purpose. But that version of you, the real you, he's out there. He's waiting on the other side of pain, and the only way to reach him is to stop running and start becoming. You don't find that man by accident. You build him, one hard choice at a time. 3. Suffer on purpose. Let's be honest, no one wants to suffer. But here's the truth. Stoicism teaches, pain is the teacher most men try to skip, and that's why they never graduate into strength. Growth isn't pretty, it's lonely. It's missing out. It's lifting when you're tired, showing up when you're uninspired, staying silent when anger begs to speak. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Most fear is fiction. And real suffering, when embraced with purpose, sharpens you. So the next time life gets heavy, don't look for the exit. Look for the lesson. Because suffering with intention, that's how you become unbreakable. That's how you earn peace. Don't avoid the fire. Stand in it. And let it burn the weakness out of you. 4. Burn the softness out. Softness feels safe, but it betrays you in silence. You don't notice it at first. You just avoid one workout, one tough call, one uncomfortable truth. But soon you can't even look yourself in the mirror, because deep down, you know you've been shrinking. The man who never breaks doesn't get there by accident. He trims the fat from his habits, his thoughts, his circle. He keeps the hard things close and pushes distractions away. He lets go of the version of himself that begged to be comfortable. You want to stop falling apart? Then start by letting the softness die. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you cast out weakness. Until one day the pain knocks, and you don't fold. You smile, because you trained for this. 5. Discipline is devotion. Discipline isn't punishment. It's devotion to a future version of yourself. The one who walks taller, sleeps better, stands stronger. It's not about motivation. That fades. It's about showing up after the hype dies down. True discipline happens in silence. No one's watching, no one's clapping. It's choosing the gym over the couch, reading instead of scrolling, keeping promises you made to yourself at 2 a.m. Devotion means showing up even when your feelings don't. And over time, discipline doesn't get easier. You get tougher. Every rep, every choice, Every no to temptation is another brick in your mental fortress. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. And if you are, you become the man no storm can shake. 6. The weight of solitude. Some men fear being alone, but the man who never breaks, he knows solitude is sacred. You won't find strength in crowded rooms filled with noise and validation. You find it in silence, when the only voice left is your own. Solitude teaches you to lead yourself, to know who you are without applause, to walk without asking for company. Sure, you'll miss out. They'll laugh. They'll misunderstand your distance. Let them. Because while they chase comfort in groups, you'll be forging resilience in the dark. The Stoics walked alone often, not because they had to, but because they chose to. Because the path to greatness is narrow, and not everyone gets to come. 7. You don't fix her loneliness. You're not her savior. Her loneliness isn't a project for you to fix. It's a signal, an invitation for her to face her own reflection. Many men think that by loving her enough, she'll heal. But love isn't a medicine, it's a mirror. If she hasn't made peace with herself, no amount of your attention will fill that space. In fact, your efforts may only make her resent you. Why? Because you become a reminder of her own emptiness. A high-value man doesn't rush in to rescue. He observes, he listens, but he remains rooted. If she's unwilling to sit with her own silence, she'll never truly appreciate your presence. Let her face herself, because only then can she meet you with wholeness, not dependence. 8. Emotional maturity is her responsibility. She can cry, she can shout, she can feel overwhelmed, but her emotions are hers to process. You are not her emotional punching bag. Too many men tolerate chaos under the label of love. They absorb blame, walk on eggshells, lose themselves in her storms. But a woman's mood is not your compass. A stoic man stands steady. He doesn't react, he responds. If she can't regulate her emotions, she'll manipulate yours. Maturity means being responsible for how you show up, regardless of what life throws at you. So, if she refuses to own her emotional world, it's not your job to carry it. You can be a safe space, but not her dumping ground. Respect requires boundaries, and strength is found in restraint. 9. She tests you to find your edges. She'll test your limits not because she's cruel, but because she's searching for structure. Feminine energy craves containment. If she pushes and you collapse, she loses trust. If she pokes and you react, she loses respect. A woman wants to feel your edge, not aggression, but presence. She wants to know, can you lead without force? Can you remain calm when she's emotional? Can you hold space when things get uncomfortable? These are not games. They're instincts. Her testing is how she feels your strength. So don't take it personally. Smile, breathe, stand tall, and when needed, walk away with silence. You're traded for a father. Act. You are not the man who left. You're not the man who failed her. And yet many women unconsciously seek partners to patch the holes left by broken fathers. That's a heavy burden, and one you should never carry. When she seeks validation from you that should have come from her past, it becomes a cycle of dependency, not love. Your role is not to raise her. You're a mirror, not a mentor. If she hasn't faced her inner child, she'll project it onto you. Hold space, but don't become her emotional parent. You deserve a partner, not a patient. 11. Your peace must be protected. Your peace is sacred. Don't give it away just because someone feels entitled to your energy. If being with her feels like emotional warfare, she's not your partner. She's your lesson. A peaceful man attracts chaos only when he forgets his value. You've spent years building yourself, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Don't let someone dismantle it in days. If love always feels like walking into battle, it's not love, it's addiction. Choose stillness over drama. Choose clarity over confusion. And if that means walking away from a beautiful face with a storming heart, so be it. A man at peace is a man in power. 12. Love without self-respect is self-betrayal. You can love deeply, you can care, give, support, but never at the cost of your own self-respect. The moment you start abandoning your values, silencing your voice, or chasing someone who's emotionally unavailable, you've stepped into self-betrayal. And betrayal from the self is the hardest wound to heal. True love doesn't ask you to shrink, it invites you to expand. If you find yourself constantly bending just to keep her, ask yourself, who are you becoming in the process? A high-value man never trades his integrity for temporary affection. Respect yourself enough to walk away when love no longer honors your worth. You were not made to be consumed by chaos, nor to chase approval. You were made to stand firm, lead with calm, and move with clarity. In a world that often confuses love with sacrifice, let your strength be quiet, your boundaries firm, and your presence undeniable. The right woman won't ask you to abandon yourself. She'll rise to meet you. Subscribe to Ancient Stoic Secrets, where men rise in silence and lead with strength.